well, I'm not much further forward with the CX650. As you can see, the bike's still there and all the bits are still there and the engine's still there, and I'm just doing a few things on the rat bike before I sell it. I've sold the Honda CB500, that's gone unfortunately, so I don't have a running bike at the moment. Well, this one runs, but it's not MOT. And I say it runs, but it doesn't at the moment. That's why I need to do a little job on it. So we're going to do that now. Hopefully then we'll get it fired up and running, and then I can book it in for its MOT. So let's crack on with that. I've had the spark plugs out on this thing so many times, front and rear, because it does run a bit lumpy and they just get oil fouled, or the front one does. Carbon fouled, a bit wet, but then it probably just needs a good run. And I took the rear plug out, so the plug on the rear cylinder, and I threaded it. So I just need to run a tap through there, hopefully just to sort of put those threads back to rights. I bought these on eBay. They're just I think they're 10, 12, 14, 16, something like that mil. So just a range of spark plug threads. Mine's 14, so I guess it's, I'm not sure, I guess it's that one. Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway, that should just sort it. Now the trick is getting the tap started. I don't want to have to take the cylinder head off. I'm assuming that means taking the engine out. Oh, that started nicely. So I'm going to just a couple of turns back. Couple of turns back. This is invariably going to put a bit of, I would imagine, a bit of swarf into the cylinder head. Starting to bite now, so I think I've met the damaged threads. Couple of turns back. Right, let's just see. I feels like it's seated. Just using a pick just to fill the shaft of the tap just before it meets the threads, and yeah, I can see, I think most of the threads are all the way through, so not all the way through, I mean all the way into the plug hole and the threaded portion. So just going to give it a bit more. Turn it back a couple of times. I'm just going to give it a bit more cutting. Obviously I don't want to go too far, so I don't want to go pressing into the, well, I've got no idea where the position of the cylinder is, but I don't want to go pushing this thing too far through. I'd never get the darn thing back out again. Right, let's take it out and see if we've got some threads recut. Needs a bit more. So I'm trying to avoid drilling it out and doing a what do you call it, a helicoil or a time cert or something like that. If I have to do something like that, then I'm better off taking the cylinder head off. Right. Can't see anything coming out of there, so I'll put a bit of oil on the threads. And get it to the point where I can wind it all the way in and out freely. Otherwise it's not doing its job, is it? Right, you can see the tap is all the way in. And from what I can see using my pick from the seat to the sort of top of the nut, all the threaded portion of that tap is in. So let's just get it back out. It should be. Always a lot of there you go, you see a lot of material on there, look. I did put a bit of oil on the thread, so I think that probably helped just ease it in and out. Let me blow that out again. There's nothing blowing out there, so hopefully it's just captured it all. Right. So all I want to do is just recut the thread. No idea what I did to it, it just wouldn't go back in. That seems like it's going nicely. Right, that seems to have done the trick. It's about whatever technique works really. I didn't want to take the head off and drill it out, helicoil it, a lot of work when you can just try a recut. Recut seems to have worked. I just put a ruler down there and measured the height of the top of the nut of the plug, and it's the same as the other side, so it's seated properly, definitely. Perfect. Whilst that plug was out, I just checked the gap and adjusted it to, I think, 0.75 mil. So I'm just going to check this one as well. Looks okay. No, that was a fib. I told you 0.75, it was actually 0.7 that I checked it to. And that one's too tight. It should be between 0.7 and 0.8, but 0.7 is you can't even get the gauge in there. Probably too much. give that like one tap, didn't I? And then I gave it about 6, was it? Right. That's better. Got a bite. So yeah, when I put the other one back in, I didn't get any resistance. It did go straight in okay, just like that. God knows what the MOT test is going to make of this. Just letting all the pressure out of the tank. Don't think it's a good idea to leave it under pressure. Cheap Aldi job. Anyhow, as I was saying, I've sold the CB500, so you can see I've got a bit more space in here now. And where I'm at is I've got my bench there completely made, got my CX650 engine sat on it. I've got my rat bike now ready to MOT. Now I've just repaired that spark plug. And as you can see, I've put a road legal plate on it. Slightly wonky, so I need to straighten that up. And that's all the bike bits for the CX650 and the bike itself. So my plan now is to simply get this one MOT'd and sold, and then I'm going to stick another bench right here, so I've got plenty of room to work on whilst I've got plenty of storage for engine teardowns and things like that. So one or the other of the benches will just be covered in parts, and the other one will be a working bench for the CX650 project. So still don't quite know how that's going to turn out yet, because as I showed you in a previous video, there's a ton of rust down there, but I think it'll cut out okay. Once I've got the bike completely stripped apart, we'll just be able to see the frame separately, and then I'll be able to kind of explain better what I'm going to do to repair it, hopefully. That's where we're up to. So let's just fire this baby up and see how she's running now. Because I really didn't fancy spending the amount of time it would have needed to get that cylinder head off and drill it out and properly recut a new thread, drilling it out and helicoiling it. That would have been a right pain in the backside, so I'm glad just re-threading worked anyway. So it seems to run alright, and that did a good job, that thread cutting, recutting tool I bought, so that's nice. So it's just really time now to get this MOT'd and sold and out of the garage. So I've got plenty of space to have bench number 2 right there, so I can strip the engine down. I've got somewhere to work, and I've got plenty of space in the garage for the CX650 just over there, so I can pull her apart, get the tank and seat and wheels off, forks out, get it all apart, get the frame completely separated so I can have a good look at it, and then decide whether or not that rust is curable and I can cut it all out where I need to and re-weld it up where I need to. I'm not absolutely sure at the moment, but once I've got it apart, I'll have a better idea. But first things first, get rid of this old girl. make space, and then at least I'll have an incentive to really get on with that one, because I haven't got a running bike at all now. I sold the CB500. Obviously this one runs but isn't on the road at the moment, and the CX650 nowhere near. So I don't know, I might buy myself another bike in the meantime, who knows. But for the time being, I'm going to start work on that one. So yeah, get rid of this old girl, get the next bench erected, and get cracking. So see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Plenty of videos to catch up on if you haven't seen any already, and see you next time.